Yo guys, Fun Routine back with a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing XFL week recap of week 1. No, this is a little late. These videos do take a long time to make. But anyway, let's get right into it. And the first game was Seattle Dragons and the DC Defenders, starting out with a very, very exciting start to the inaugural season. Pretty much, to take away from this, the running game was non-existent for a lot of players. Cardell Jones, Revival, everyone knows him. And most football fans know him. Eli Rogers was a notable name. On the defensive side of the ball, there was a couple plays. Also, Keenan Reynolds is on the Seattle Dragons. He's a guy I made a video on the channel previously. So, other than that, a very exciting game. In the upcoming weeks, I'll do more in depth in the player development, but it's week 1. Here's a look at the stats if you guys want. And just to talk about a little bit the key players. And the player of the game is Cardell Jones. He went 19 for 26, 235. He threw 2 touchdowns. He also had around 30 rushing yards during the game. Made some big plays. He wasn't making the most plays, but he was definitely the most consistent player on both sides of the ball. And then the second game, LA Wildcats versus the Houston Roughnecks, my favorite game of the week so far. P.J. Walker is a great quarterback. That interception in the fourth quarter kind of screwed him over because he should have never threw the ball. There was like 3 minutes left. Should have never threw the ball. Just run the clock out. Other than that, guys on this team that people may know is a couple of the quarterbacks. Their kicker for the Wildcats was in the NFL, so a lot of nice former notable names from the NFL on here. You can just take a look at the stats. And like I said, the upcoming weeks I'll go in depth and the players that are consistent. It's the first week. They're still finding who they're going to start and the number one options and everything and who they're starting for everything and who's the coach or coaching certain positions. Obviously, they have their head coach and stuff, but position coaches is still being thrown around. And the player of the game is Phillip or P.J. Walker. He threw for 200 yards. He was escaping the pocket. You look at the stats, it's like he wasn't that good. But, man, if you watch the game, he was escaping pressure every other play, making perfect throws up until the end of the game. And then the third game on a Sunday. The Sunday games are very boring. The Saturday games are very exciting. Matt McGloin and Aaron Murray, so both the QBs are notable names. Obviously, a very slow-paced, it was kind of like watching the Steelers and a team like the Titans play. Imagine how slow-paced the offense for the Steelers was and how bad it was, and then the Titans how they run the ball, and the Vipers were the Steelers and the Guardians were the Tennessee Titans. People are like, oh, they won by 20, but it's a very boring game. But I have the player of the game going to Will Sutton, former NFL player. Played for several teams. He had 5 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, and a tackle for loss. So very productive from a defensive line perspective. And he is a team captain. A lot of expectation for him. And next year he will probably be back in the NFL before the season even started. And then he just follows up people thinking he's going to play again next year with a very dominant game up front. And then my favorite team, the Dallas Renegades, who I'm a fan of in the new XFL, played like crap. They were the favorites to win the championship in Vegas. They were the favorites to win the championship on FanDuel. And they were the second favorite to win on ESPN. And they just came out with their backup quarterback, Philip Nelson, and played like crap. But there are a couple guys on this team that a lot of people may know. Lance Dunbar, Cameron Artis-Payne, Landry Jones, a lot of guys, Jamal Harrod. So, quite a lot. But it was a very boring game. St. Louis didn't play good. Dallas didn't play good. And like I said, I'm a Dallas fan. And Nick Fitzgerald, I forgot. He's a quarterback / running back who played for Mississippi State. And the player of the game is Terrence Garvin, who also played in the AAF. That is the Apollo's jersey he's wearing there. He had 8 tackles from the linebacker position, a sack, a QB hit, and 2 tackles for loss. It's a very exciting game to watch. And if you watch the game, he was all over the place. It's like, oh, it looked like he had more than 8 tackles. He sure did, but they weren't total. And the Week 1 awards, the best game was the LA Wildcats versus Houston Roughnecks. The worst game was the St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Dallas Renegades. Offensive player of the week, Cardell Jones. I was going to say P.J. Walker, but I'll get that in a second. Defensive player of the week was Will Sutton. Playmaker of the week was P.J. Walker. The disappointment one was the team itself, the Dallas Renegades. And disappointment number 2 was Aaron Murray for the Vipers. Just played bad. A lot of expectations for him. And P.J. Walker wasn't, like, on paper, wasn't very good, but he was making plays. And that's why I went playmaker, but offense, most consistent offensive player was Cordell Jones. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like. I will do this every